All right, welcome back. This is Inside Pages on Metro Television, and Inside Pages is going all the way till 10. For those of you who just joined us, let me again repeat the WhatsApp line is 0249 155 646 155 646. Now, I want us to watch this video, and I want you to watch this video carefully. Derek, is the video ready? After we've watched this video, we'll come back and ask you to tell us what you also saw. Is it that the... Okay, so I'm not going to say anything. Just let's watch this video.
Global citizens, fellow Africans, ladies and gentlemen, I extend a hearty akwaba, a word of welcome from a very hospitable people. All of you have come from afar and wide to our vibrant city of Accra, Ghana's capital, to join us on this. Who is enjoying themselves more? Us here or them in Central Park, New York? Who is enjoying themselves more? Here in Western Square. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Sorry about that. So you saw that for yourself. Did that look like it was organized, it was planned, it was orchestrated by perhaps the NDC? I don't know, but you would have to make that judgment yourself. You saw the video, and so you'd have to let me know what you make of that video. Because remember that the NDC, well, as soon as it happened, the MPP held a news conference and actually blamed the NDC for this and said he had planned to embarrass the president. And the MPP came out to say no. Sorry, the NDC came out to say no, we're not interested in embarrassing the president, but they understand. And also they said they dissociate themselves from what has happened, but they understand why the chaps who did what they did. And so that's where we are. So I'm joined in the studio by two very, very distinguished persons who've made time, taken time off their very busy schedules to join me in the studio this morning. I have Mr. Buja Jemfi, and as for him, I'm picking some intel about his future plans for the NDC, and perhaps I will confront him on this matter. So that he will probably make the declaration here on this platform. And so you say you'll be hearing this for the first time formally. Mr. Buja, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Moro.
And I hope you're doing very well.
I'm good. It's been a while.
It's been a while. We haven't been in touch in a while.
Yes, I hope you're good too.
Not bad, except that the rains nearly scattered our plans. But the devil is a liar.
Yes. We're determined to make it. And we are here.
And there are other things you're determined to do.
Yes. And good morning to my brother.
Yes, Kofi, I was just about to, you've taken the wind out of my sail. Well, that's fine. Thank you very much for that. Now, Kofi Ofosun Kansa is, is also a very good friend of mine. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. That's NEIP. His job is just to help young people to start their own business. That's simply put. But he would perhaps tell us a bit more about that. Mr. Kofi Kansa, it's good to see you. How are you, sir?
We are good.
I don't know. A lot of people call you the Foot Soldiers President. I don't know how you came by that name.
I run errands for the Foot Soldiers. So I'm their chief.
You are their servant.
I'm their chief messenger. Yes.
Your chief messenger.
I run the errands for them.
let me use this opportunity to congratulate you, honestly, because
you.
When the news broke, I said, "Well, I'm not surprised because I noticed that you've been basically championing the welfare issues and the concerns of the foot soldiers, and so and apart from, of course, your competence is not in doubt, but plus the fact that you've been working very hard for your party." And so I was surprised that the announcement came. So congratulations to you.
Thank the president
how's
for the opportunity.
NIP doing? NIP doing?
So far, so good. There's a general focus on entrepreneurship support from government to the extent that even the budget theme for 2022 was on entrepreneurship.
Right.
Building a sustainable entrepreneurial nation, fiscal consolidation, and job creation.
Okay.
Because the president believes entrepreneurship is the way to go because there's hundreds and thousands of young people who enter the job market each year from universities. The formal sector, both private and public, is unable to absorb all of them. So we need to create alternative employment opportunities through these entrepreneurship interventions. That is why across all the entrepreneurship support agencies like National Entrepreneurship Innovation Program, Ghana Enterprise Agency, Commission for TVET, Maslock, Venture Capital, and others, we are rolling out a series of entrepreneurship programs to create employment opportunities for the youth through entrepreneurship, support SMEs, startups, give them funds, help them to take their products and services to the market, provide them with regulatory compliance and support, technology support, and other gaps that we have identified as issues for SMEs and startups. These are the gaps we are providing as government institutions, and we hope that the 1 million jobs target that the president has given us through these various youth entrepreneurship programs will be achieved at the end of 2024.
Right. We honestly wish you well. But it appears that there are a section of Ghanaians who are not either aware or are yet to benefit of some of these things. And so when they saw the president at the Global Citizens
Festival,
they decided to say away, because they are not aware that there are some opportunities there.
Even before you proceed,
right?
When I posted the flyer on my WhatsApp status, I got a lot of young people reach out to me.
Really?
Yes. About him.
About him?
Yes.
About Kofi
exactly. They said if you meet this man, tell him.
They were waiting.
About 7 months ago, he came training us.
Okay.
And we have not received a penny.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nothing has happened.
And
Since
a lot of people reached out to me.
What's happening?
So what is happening is that
they have not disbursed yet.
Okay.
They have gone around the country to train people and promise them that they're going to give them some capital.
And nothing is happening.
And nothing has happened.
I see.
So once I've met him, at least those who reach out to me, they are watching.
So they want to know why you haven't
So for that particular program, we've done the selection and the screening, and the first cohort disbursement is going to be done next week.
Okay.
Even this week, some funds have hit some accounts.
Okay.
Yes, but this is just a cohort of it.
Okay.
So it's not everybody who received this week and next week, but before the end of the year, most of them would. But what is happening is that there are a lot of entrepreneurship interventions.
Okay.
It is not only Youth in Agric or YouStart. YouStart is going to be the biggest.
Okay.
And we've planned it. We've rolled out the pilot. It's been very successful. And the main one is going to be launched soon. But there is the Ghana Economic Transformation Project, COVID support program for growth stage SMEs.
Okay.
There is the Jobs and Skills program at Commission for TVET. There's the Ghana Skills Development Fund. There is a digital acceleration program, which Ghana Enterprise Agency is also going to roll out. Okay. There's a MasterCard and COSO program ongoing. And I have the figures here, and I'm going to go through some of them when we advance the discussions to tell the young people opportunities which are ongoing. I'm going to give them the links to this website for them to go online right now and apply and take advantage of some of these opportunities. I think YouStart has been touted most. YouStart and the Youth in Agric. So most of them are waiting for YouStart. But many other programs and interventions are ongoing. Okay. The Ghana Skills Development Fund alone, which is being rolled out by Commission for TVET, is a 600 million Ghana cedi program, which is going to support growth stage SMEs, give them skills, help them close technology gaps, and also fund them, provide them grants. And what is good about most of these interventions are they are grants. So once you get the money, all what you have to do is to invest them into your business. The government is not going to come back to you to take these monies. Okay. So if you get 100,000 cedis under jobs and skills development, or the economic transformation programs, COVID support program, it is money for your business that government is not going to take back. A lot of these programs are going on.
So it's free money?
It's free money. www.gea/GETP.
We usually don't protect free monies. We spend them anyhow.
Yeah. what is good is that this is a World Bank program, and you know, these donor partners, these development partners, their support comes with stringent conditions.
Okay.
You know, there's a World Bank office here, there's a World Bank unit at the Ministry of Finance, and they do the M&E and they see to the implementation. So every step of the way, every milestone you achieve,
monitor and
you
evaluate.
report before you are given the next tranche.
I see.
They measure the success of the enterprises. What KPIs were they given? Is it profitability? Is it job creation? Is it sustainability? Is it entering new market? All these metrics will be measured to the letter to, you know, prove that the purposes for which the grants were given were achieved before you even qualify for the next tranche. That is how this World Bank monies work. You know, and we are going to model it along other programs that we are going to do to ensure that every step of the way, every program we implement, there is a good monitoring and evaluation strategy to ensure that there is impact, so that the government won't just be throwing money away. That is why under YouStart, for instance, there is a 9-member interministerial committee which is going to oversee it, together with the National Development Planning Commission, with a YouStart Secretariat at the Finance Ministry, before you come down to the implementing agencies, which are the universal banks, GEA, NEIP, TVET, National Youth Authority, and even the faith-based organizations. They are all going to play a part in programs like YouStart. So, Moro, when we enter the conversation proper, I will give some of the specifics.
Gov't Council would also, in fact, we intend to give him a bail for advertising what the NEIP is
Especially
doing.
when it has not
This
benefited.
is a social service. This is a social service.
Especially when it has not benefited the Ghanaian.
It hasn't benefited the Ghanaian
Exactly.
people.
I'm going to give the
Don't worry, I'll
numbers.
come to you. I'll come to you. I know you have a lot to say.
Okay, all
I know you
right.
have a lot to say.
I'm going to
And
give
I
the
notice
numbers.
you're putting a lot of points down. But I want to ask Kofi. So, Kofi, you, from where you sit, you're in charge of job creation, basically.
Yeah.
Now, how did you feel when you saw that video? I mean,
Yeah.
when news broke that despite the efforts that you were making as the chief executive officer of a very important institution such as the NEIP, you have some youth who are telling the president that, or whatever, it could be the economy or whatever it is, but they're telling the president they're not happy with his performance. And so he should move away, he should stay away. I don't know what your immediate reaction was when you heard the news.
Well, when I saw the footage, I was a bit disappointed. But later on, I got opportunity to see the official video from the organizers. You know, what you showed is an amateur footage from someone who was standing at a particular corner. So this is a session of the big crowd which was there. The president was very composed and continued. If you look at his demeanor and the way he was laughing, those at Central Park, you know, can ask who is enjoying themselves better. He didn't even realize something of that sort was happening. Because there were more cheers than boos. So I would rather have preferred, Moro, that you showed the professional footage, the official one from the event organizer. Go to YouTube and watch it. Very well organized event, well patronized, brought down this international stars. Once again, there was global spotlight on Ghana. What was Ghana choosing? I mean, this is done to coincide with the UN General Assembly each year to put the spotlight on the need for us to solve poverty, hunger, and make the world a more peaceful place. When the Deputy General Secretary of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed, went to the New York Central Park, I mean, what did he say? He said, every problem we face in the world is created, so we can all come together and solve it. And the responsibility is from both leadership and citizenry. Leadership of nations, leadership of corporates, leadership of philanthropic nations, and then the citizens. As citizens, what part are we also playing to be patriotic, to be honest, to be responsible citizens, to show high integrity, to have compassion for others, to brighten our corners and make sure we are responsible citizens who pay our taxes and do what is expected
So,
of
Kofi,
us as citizens.
does that mean that you are discounting, even if there were two people who jeered at the president, are you discounting that? Are you saying it's not important?
This is a government which is very much aware of the times we are in, the difficulties, the crisis, and we have acknowledged it. And that is why programs like Ghana Cares is being rolled out with various interventions to solve these problems. So we are well awake.
You are alive to the realities of the
Exactly. We are aware.
And
the president was the first person to acknowledge the issues post-COVID. Ukraine war, all these issues, the externalities, the effect on the economy. Unlike previously, when the issues were self-inflicted, they were local issues and even were in denial, leadership was in denial and they didn't accept, the state we were in. Contrary, now there's acceptance. by the national leadership from cabinet level. Everybody knows this is happening, and across all the sectors of the economy, across all the ministries, departments, and agencies, there are various interventions geared towards, fixing the economy. From the IMF interventions to various stimulus packages to industries, the strategic anchor industries through Ministry of Trade, the Development Bank Ghana, which is going to provide long-term capital, patient capital to up to 15 years to stimulate growth in the various industries, the various automotive interventions, 1D, 1F, and others. When you come to the lower tier, what we are also doing through Ghana Cares, the various youth interventions and all that. So this is a government which is very much aware. And if you look at the global landscape, all the macro indicators that we use to measure how economies are doing are at 40-year record high. Whether it is inflation, whether it is low purchasing power, whatever it is at 40-year record high. So it tells you we are not in an island. Ghana is not isolated. The disruptions in the global supply chains, the effects on the goods that we imported, because we are paying 10 times container prices for goods that we import. And we are an import-driven economy. Most of the stuff are imported. Unfortunately, the solution to this importation problem, how to accelerate import substitution and even strengthen our city to build foreign exchange reserves and all that, is a long-term one. You have to industrialize. You have to manufacture locally. Okay. That is why we are using start and the rest to encourage local manufacturing, so that at least the very basic consumables, the drinks, the food, the items we pick in our shops, when we enter the shops, we will see 90% of these items manufactured locally, instead of importing citrus and other juices from South Africa and even other African and European countries when we can manufacture this. So a lot is going on, and if you study the plan very well, you know that this is a government which knows exactly what they are doing. And systematically, various interventions are being rolled out to help us achieve milestones, which will serve as a foundation to catapult us to also achieve other aims, so that eventually we will reach the Ghana Beyond Aid. Ghana Beyond Aid doesn't mean we will not go to IMF in the next 5 years or the next 10 years. It only means that in the long term, we want to be independent. In the long term, this is where we want to be. And the building blocks, the foundation is being laid towards this destination. So, Moro, I think in a nutshell, this was just a small section of the crowd there, which expressed their displeasure towards the president. I mean, and that is allowed. You can do that. Just that they should have done it in a more courteous way.
So you're saying that does not take away the fact that a lot is happening?
It doesn't at all. Not in any way. And so far as there were more cheers, than boos, I don't have any issue with it. There's no cause for it. It doesn't matter. Even if it was spontaneous or orchestrated, majority of the people cheer the president. Go and look at the official footage from YouTube, and you appreciate what I'm saying.
Okay, so that's Kofi Nkansah. Kofi Nkansah is the Chief Executive Officer of NEIP, joining us this morning to have a conversation about that incident that happened at the Blackstock Square, where a section of the crowd decided to boo at the president. But as Kofi also said, of course, when you watch the official footage, there were also some persons there who were cheering him on, which is actually a fact if you watch the entire video. But some say the president should not be too concerned about those who are cheering him. He should rather be concerned about those who are not cheering and booing at him. It means that there's a lot of work to be done. So it depends on where you stand and how you interpret what you saw. But let me come to Mr. Buja Jemfi. Buja Jemfi, before he even responds to some of the things that Mr. Kofi Nkansah has said, Buja, I'm picking some very strong intelligence or intel that you are eyeing the national youth organizer position of the NDC. Are you able to confirm that on this platform, that you have that ambition?
Well, the party has started processes of reorganizing the party. And at this level, we are at the constituency level. Today and tomorrow, many of the constituencies will go through vetting. And later this month, there will be elections for the constituencies, which will follow with the region and then the national as well. Yes, I am contesting for the national youth organizer position of the party. And so I can confirm to you that when nominations are open, I think by close of this month for national executive positions, I will be picking up nomination and filing to contest for the position of the national youth organizer. Having served at the branch level of the party, at the constituency, and also as a regional youth organizer for the largest region in Ghana in terms of our political system, which is Ashanti region. I would want to come up to the national level and help to reposition the youth wing of the party ahead of the 2024 elections. So I can confirm to you that I'll be
And he has my support.
He has your support.
Yes.
That's interesting. I mean, Kofi in Council doesn't usually support an NDC, what do you call it, adventure.
Well, Kofi.
So if he says he's supporting you, I mean that speaks volumes.
Hardworking NDC young man.
Yeah,
He has my support.
Well, you attract. Yeah, well, you like people who are hardworking. But how long have you been nursing this ambition? Because you see, when I heard it, I said, well, until I hear from you personally, I was just going to treat it with a pinch of salt. Because what I know your philosophy to be all this while is that it's almost as if whatever capacity the NDC or whatever position the NDC gives you, you want to do everything with your heart. Yeah. You are fully committed and dedicated to it. So you're not the type of person who is going around just looking for positions for its sake.
Exactly. So
if you have really come out to say that you want to go for the National Youth Organizer, it means a lot of thinking has gone into this.
Exactly.
Now, is it the case that you came under pressure from the NDC youth to venture into this, into this space? Or you decided at some point, and when did that decision come up? I mean, that, look, Emreaso, this is the time for me to give this a try.
Well, Moro, I can tell you that there's been several calls.
Several calls.
For a change.
I see.
In the current youth leadership of the party.
Okay.
There are many things I cannot say on this platform for internal cohesion.
Well, you mean the pressure is massive?
Exactly. And you can feel it, that the party youth wants, a new face for the youth wing.
I see.
Because the NDC has presented a face for the youth that is very weak, not too much concern about what goes on in the country in terms of even putting pressure on government to deliver on its promises and to give some kind of hope to young people to join the NDC. And I think that I represent that call. So
the Broja Jemfi, that's what I'm looking for. But you stand for action.
Exactly. And my theme for this campaign has been youth leadership of courage. And that is
leadership of courage.
Exactly. That is what we need in order to face this government. Because going into 2024, you know it. And our colleagues also are aware because they are orchestrating it. We are not just going against the NPP. We are also going against compromised state institutions that you cannot trust and believe that they will be fair and just in the process that we are going through. Talk of the Electoral Commission, the police, the military. We all saw what happened in 2020 elections.
The same institutions will come back and use.
We need a new face for the youth wing of the party because that is the powerhouse of mobilizing persons for. And we, as a country, have a young population, and so that should be the focus. So when it is time, I'll be going around the country to talk to our youth organizers and our teen president to give me the opportunity. An electoral college of about 1,200.
Wow.
We'll be speaking to them, speaking to their hearts, and giving them reasons why that change is important and very so now, so that going into the 2024 elections, we can give hope to young people to join the NDC.
Wow, that's the news. It's big. I don't think you've said this anywhere. Or you've said it on other platforms.
I think that it's known.
It's public knowledge.
Exactly.
But have you declared it as you've done here?
Not
on
really.
Metro? Not really.
Yes. But
so you heard it first on Metro TV. The NDC's, for now you're the Ashanti Regional...
former
Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer.
I didn't contest in the 2020,
yes,
2018.
In 18 internal elections. Okay, so the former Ashanti Youth Regional Organizer of the NDC, Broja Jemfi, has declared publicly and officially here on this platform He says, yeah, the rumor has been out there for a long time, but now he's made it official that he will be contesting the National Youth Organizer position of the NDC. That certainly promises to be a very exciting internal contest. We can't wait. We'll see how all of this pans out. He says he stands for courage and he stands for action. So if the NDC wants action, if the NDC wants people with courage to face the NPP in 2024, he is the man. We'll see how it goes. So let's come back to our main, because we'll have you back. Don't worry, there'll be time for us to have a proper conversation about what you stand for and your plans for the youth wing of the party, and then you'll get to expatiate a bit more on that. But for now, we're talking about what happened at the Black Star Square. Was that part of your plans to show that you are the man for the NDC job? That's why you mobilized some guys and took them to the Black Star Square to go and embarrass the president, even if there were just a few people. Was that part of your scheme in order to announce that you're the man to beat when it comes to the youth organizer position of the youth organizer contest of the NDC? Did you have anything to do with this?
We must first understand the purpose of the gathering.
Okay.
What was it about?
Right.
We are told that it's a global citizens concert.
Yes.
Which is not just...
It's about protecting the environment as well.
Yes, which is not just about Ghana.
Yes.
And I think the theme is to end poverty or something, do campaign, about poverty, which has been moving from countries to countries, and they came to Ghana. So it was basically a social event. It was not a political event where political parties needed to mobilize their members to join.
Okay.
I wasn't there, and I have not seen any NDC activist who has indicated that he was even at the event.
Okay.
And so it cannot be said that one political party mobilized its members to attend, such a concert and to embarrass the president in the way as it happened. So that's, accusation falls flat.
Okay.
It is never true. We are not.
So this has nothing to do with the NDC?
It has nothing to do with the NDC. We are not even told, the few that we are told cheered up the president, whether they were also mobilized by the NPP to be there or not. But for me, this sends a signal to government. And the government is in self-denial. They are thinking that, we should just gloss over this. It's not an important thing. It's not a signal for us. And that is not good for government.
Okay.
Because
but the government says, rather than looking at it as the glass half empty, they want to look at the glass half full. Which is, they want to look at those. Look, there were persons who were also cheering at the president.
That's what I'm saying. That they are in self-denial. If you want to look at...
How can you be in self-denial when somebody's cheering at the president?
A glass half full.
Yes.
Or a glass half empty.
Yes.
It also informs the effort you put in.
Right.
Because if you want to see it as half full, you are okay.
You're absolutely right.
If you want to see it as half empty,
yes,
you may want to
the
put
approach
more...
will be different.
So, for me...
they should continue to look at it as half glass full?
They can live in that...
world of self-denial.
Cloud cuckoo land. And think that all is well.
Yes.
But all is not well.
Right.
And the earlier this government appreciates that, the better for the image of the president.
Okay.
Because I can tell you that the mood of the country today is not good for the president.
Tell me more.
If we don't take care, these actions are going to be repeated at public events because people are frustrated and they do not know how to express that frustration. Freedom of speech being curtailed, people are afraid to even speak. As if we are in a communist, kind of country where people are complaining to each other and the complaints are not, out there. And so when it happens like that, people find other means of expressing that anger.
Okay.
And for me, that is one of such actions that we saw at the Black Star Square.
Okay.
Contrast this with 4 years ago, the same Black Star Square. The president met hundreds of young people, launched NAPCO, promised young people jobs. Where are all these hundreds of thousands of people who gathered at the Black Star Square praising the president for launching NAPCO? Many of these young people were at the event. Out of frustration, they went there to entertain themselves. from nowhere, the man who is responsible for their woes appears on the stage when they are waiting for Stoneboy or Shatawale or Black Sheriff to come and entertain them out of their frustration. The cause of the frustration now appears there to deliver another promise. These young people would obviously go that way.
But that's fine. But we're Ghanaians. We have a culture. You don't embarrass an older person in public like that.
Yes, I agree with that point.
Are you discounting that?
Yeah, no, I'm not discounting it.
Okay.
This is also one of the cultures of young people. Away.
Right.
I mean, nobody threw a stone at the
true.
president. Nobody pulled him. Nobody pushed him. Back at secondary school, if you come and then your performance is not up to, who give you away?
Yeah,
These are things that young people do. So I don't really see, apart from the fact that
you don't think it's a show of disrespect?
No, not at all. Because this is, our usual way of showing disapproval
normal.
And saying that, look, you better leave the stage. You want another person to come. So for me, it's normal.
Okay.
But there's a background to this.
Okay.
And that is what I want us to focus on.
Fine.
Before 2020 elections, people were, very much dissatisfied with the delivery of this our president, His Excellency Nana Akufo Addo. And that showed up in the results of elections, even with how compromised the election results was, how he got back to the presidency. You'd notice that they entered the Flagstaff House limping. Even in Parliament, they lost over 30 seats. So people showed it in the elections.
Yes.
Now, post-elections, people now realize that even how the COVID funds were utilized, they misused the funds, they abused certain powers, people died. And so if you realize the after or post-2020, that's when the Fix the Country started. So after 2020, the pressure started, building up. And the performance of this government has not been something that will even mitigate that pressure that is building in the system.
Right.
It is rather frustrating the system and giving people cause to believe that this president cannot deliver.
Okay.
We have ended up at the IMF. So there's pressure in the system, hardships, unemployment, and all of these. So people are really frustrated.
Okay.
And they want to express that frustration. And there's no, better way of letting the president know. Because even NPP members have called for reshuffle. They are saying that some of the ministers are not doing well. Look, Mr. President, try to change, even if one or two, get your cousin off the finance ministry, get a new face. As we even go into the IMF program, we may need a new face, people level-headed who are interested in the hardships of the people. The president said his ministers are performing fantastically. He's not going to change anybody. So what do you want the people to do? They must express it in a way. And that is how they chose to express it. And I'm expecting that in the various tertiary institutions, at public events, public functions, when the president appears, people are going to show similar disapproval.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure the national security is not even aware. And it's even surprising that the president goes to such an event and no signal is picked, whether the people were ready for him to accept him and all that. Instead of talking about the security lapses and how the security even failed, they were left off guard and the president was embarrassed that way. They are now trying to accuse the NDC and to even say that some people also cheered the president. That's their own cup of tea.
Are you in principle saying that you don't have a problem with a crowd booing at a president if they believe he's not doing well? In principle, because I'm asking you because of tomorrow.
Well, this, of course, it was embarrassing.
Yes.
And the global citizen event is an international event. And unlike my brother saying that you should show the original footages and all that, I have seen Dechi Vela, produce a video that people were booing at the president. BBC has reported. It's all over. So it's such an embarrassment for the president. But who do you blame? Where?
No, I'm asking you this because tomorrow.
It's never even happened in our history before. I have not, in my political life, I have not seen, under this republic, I have not seen any president booed and, embarrassed at a public function like that. I have not seen that before.
Okay.
And so it is not good for the president's image. It may not even be good for our country, but who knows? How do we express it?
Okay.
We thought that the president would pick this as a feedback, but you see the pushback that, it never happened. The deputy tourism minister has said that it was even some cheers,
Yes.
and we have misinterpreted it.
Right.
My brother is saying that there's some original video which I have not seen that
Yes,
is
and I'm
about
talking-
cheering,
No, actually,
cheering
when you watch
the president.
when you watch the full video, it's what he's saying is true. I mean, there were also a section of the crowd that welcomed him.
He's okay. So he's saying that there were a section of
The crowd that also welcomed him with some cheers. Yes.
the deputy minister for tourism has said that there were no GS at the president.
But that's not true.
A
There was some
deputy
cheers.
communication officer of the party has said that it is the NDC,
I have not heard what you are
NDC
saying.
that organized,
There
itself
were
to do
louder
that.
cheers
Let me-
than cheers.
But-
Let me. I'll beg of you.
To land
Yeah,
on,
because I need to
on
take a
this.
break.
Okay, no problem.
Yes, so that when I come, you land, and then Kofi will wrap it all up. So this is Inside Pages on Metro Television. Please stay tuned. We're going for a short break. All right, welcome back. Thank you very much for staying tuned in. I mean, you didn't switch your dial off because we took a 30 seconds break. So I still have in the studio with me Mr. Kofi Nkansah. He is the Chief Executive Officer of NEIP, and also Mr. Boja Jemfi, who is a communications team member of the NDC, who has publicly announced on my show this morning, in fact, first time hearing this, that he will be contesting the National Youth Organizer position of the NDC. Well, we can only wish him well. We're having a conversation about what happened at the Black Star Square, where some youth decided to jeer at the president, and that has become very topical in the whole of this week. So, Mr. Bojajefi, you were just about to land, and I had to make you crash land. Please complete whatever it is that you started, so that Mr. Kofi Nkansah can also wrap up.
So, for me, the bottom line is that
Yeah.
government must consider this as a feedback and work towards, doing things that will please young people.
Okay.
And what are some of these things? Jobs.
Okay.
Everybody
He's just
is
giving
talking
a
about
tall list
jobs.
of things that the government is doing to create jobs for the people.
This is just talk.
You mean it's not on the ground?
Exactly. The Youth Start was introduced in the 2022 budget. Do you know that?
Yes.
Now, the 2022 budget was read last year.
Yes.
How many months now? We're in October.
Okay.
We are left with the last quarter of the year.
But he tells you that it's
And
a
not
process.
a single penny
Pilot
has been
completed.
released
Okay.
in terms of the implementation of the Youth
No,
Start.
that's not true.
Are you pushing that into next year budget?
Okay.
Is it part of the IMF program? So these
They should
talks,
walk- so
we hear
they
about
should walk their
it,
talk.
calling young people into a small hall, refreshing them and saying that you hear from us. And 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, they will never hear from the government. So they must focus on youth employment.
Okay.
It is very serious.
Very
A
critical.
lot of people have lost their jobs through this banking sector collapse because of the hardship in the system. I was reading last night from the CEO of FC Beauty something, a group.
Yeah.
You know about the FC?
Yes.
Beauty?
I've heard
Yes.
that. I've heard that. Yeah.
she has closed
This is
80%
That's why we are giving stimulus packages.
of
Okay.
businesses.
Other businesses, yeah.
And it is not only her. Many other people.
Okay.
Capital is being eroded by this depreciation of a CD.
So the government should sit up
Government should sit up.
and stop talking.
Instead of government sitting up, they are rather partying. And you see,
partying?
exactly.
How?
That is what even
Bro,
provokes young people.
Yes.
I saw a short video
Yes.
of Kelly Gejepo's birthday party. And I said, what?
Yeah, but you be wunti enna.
This happened in Ghana.
But project you be wunti enna.
Look at how the Bank of Ghana is performing abysmally.
Okay.
Look at how the city is behaving. And you see expensive hard liquor, the champagne, the pomp and pageantry,
Okay.
the kind of things that went into that birthday party.
Okay.
And they had the courage to release a video of that. I said, no way. Young people will not take this.
All right. Mr. Kofi Nkasa.
Well, thank you once again, Moro.
Right.
Kelly started Data Bank with Ken. You know, that is 30 years ago. So I'm sure if he wants to throw a small party from his own private resources,
That was not a small
he can be able to do that. And, you know, sometimes it's just to thank God for his blessings.
Please let him know.
You know, but, you know, I don't think the NDC, they are the right people to advise us on job creation.
Okay.
Because when President Mahama was in charge just 5-6 years ago, he told the young people of Ghana, he's not a magician to put money in their pockets. There was a freeze on unemployment. There was unemployment. And we are rolling out a lot of programs to ensure that jobs are created. We won this election, the last election, with over 500,000 votes. So I don't think there was any signal that Ghanaians don't like. President Mahama won with less than 300,000 when he won. Our list is higher than theirs. And we all know country is divided politically. There is a big percentage of the populace who always vote NDC. So it is not surprising to see a small section of people, you know, booing at Black Star Square when the president once again has brought the whole world into the country through his programs and promotion policies to, you know, increase our tourism revenue. Look at what has happened in the tourism landscape. From Year of Return, Beyond the Return, we had stars like Idris Elba, Boris Kujo, Naomi Campbell, Steve Harvey. These people have millions of following on social media. When they came to Ghana, they posted it on their social media handles and people followed. And now, the Beyond the Return has also kicked in. And out of that, we have December in GH.